watching Dee was exhausting. She does not stop. She did everything and she did everything right. And I'm really, really pleased with her. And she wants to talk to you briefly. Dee?
Okay, thank you, Chris. Before I get started, let me tell you guys that Chris Stanley is truly an extraordinary person. And I could thank her every day from now until the end of my days, and it wouldn't be enough. So thank you, Chris. I asked for this time today to just talk to you just a little bit and thank all of you. Just like Chris, there is no way I could call everybody out by name. So I won't be naming any names except Chris. You all know who you are. So my vision back when we were before the pandemic, or even when we thought that the pandemic would go away and we'd be back to normal by now, my vision was that there would be 500 of us in the colony. Oops, I forgot to start my time. In colony, and that I would have each one of you stand up for what you did. And by the time we got through, everybody in the room would be standing. Well, that didn't happen. So we're doing it virtually today. And even though we did not win our election, I'm here to tell you that if hard work could have won it for us, there would have been no question we would have won by a landslide. For those of you who made donations, thank you so much. I cannot believe how generous everyone was with their money and their time, because we gathered over 1,500 petitions and we vetted every one of those petitions. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate the 4 women who worked so hard to help me get those petitions vetted. I couldn't have done it without them, and they know exactly who they are. We wrote over 21,000 postcards. So for everybody who wrote a postcard, thank you so much. We actually managed to get a little bit of canvassing in before COVID. And I'm not the best canvasser in the world, but it was fun. I got to go out with some of the volunteers and it was such a fun time. Even though Bob Berg, I don't know if you're there, insisted that I knock on NPA doors, and that was really stressful, but I appreciated that he urged me to get outside my comfort zone. We dropped nearly 10,000 bags of literature, and I just knew, I told Chris, I said, there's no way we're ever going to drop 10,000 bags. And even though we didn't get the 10,000 bags dropped, we dropped over 9,000, probably about 9,500, and everybody just, it was like you came out of the woodwork. It was amazing. We ran a small phone bank at the end. And for those of you who made phone calls, for me, phone calls are so hard. I appreciate you all so much. You did such a great job. We had people who hosted fundraisers. We had meet and greets before COVID. We just had so much fun before COVID. And then, whoops, I lost my little notes. I had to write notes because I didn't want to miss anybody. So we had fundraisers, we had meet and greets, and just everything came together. You all worked so hard. And even though I was very concerned going into this, and even though I was so disappointed that we didn't win, I made lifelong friendships. There's no way I could have done this without each and every one of you. So for every one of you who did anything to help, thank you so much from the very, very bottom of my heart. I love you all. Thank you. Now for an announcement. Postcards. I know everybody's been after me, and I've been after Tony the Democrat. It's like, okay, when are we going to be able to write postcards? I checked last night before I went to bed, and finally they've opened it up. I could start to request addresses. I can only request 50 addresses at a time. So like the way we write postcards, I'll be on there like every hour requesting another 50 addresses to keep the postcard writers busy. And so what we plan on doing is the office will be open not for visitors, but for postcarding only. Those of you who want to write postcards. The office will be open from 11 to 2 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to start. If I can find somebody who will help me and kind of supervise the Tuesday and Thursday part of it, we'll open then too, and a lot depends on how much participation we have. The goal is, oh, and tomorrow, just to get a feel for what's going to happen, I'm going to go in and open the doors at noon, and we'll be open till 3. So the deal is, you can come in, you can sit and write postcards. We will be socially distanced. We will have our masks. Everybody has to play by the rules. They have lots of hand sanitizer in there. And you can sit and visit, be social, distanced, and just have a good time and get to see your friends. So we write in the office, and then also those of you who aren't comfortable, you can come in and pick up postcards and take them home to write them. But the deal is, this time, please don't take more than you can write in a couple of days. This program requires that we don't request any more than we can write and mail in 3 days. And you kind of make that commitment to the campaign when you sign up to do this. So we'll be thinking that people will come in on Monday, pick up 50 postcards, take them home, and bring them back on Wednesday. Since this is not my campaign, this is another campaign, we will actually proofread those. I remember one year we had a word that we used, I think it was Dana's year, that everybody misspelled. I don't remember what the word was, but I know that some of you who whited that out and corrected them, you will remember what that word was. So again, we'll post this on the Facebook page. I'm going to post it on a couple of groups of Facebook pages who I know will want to work. So stay tuned. Check out the club Facebook page. I'll definitely post every update there. So whenever you have a question, also you can send me an email anytime you have a question. My email address is dmelvin1, the number 1, dmelvin1 @gmail.com. So that's all I have today. Thank you, everybody. I love you all so much. I can't wait to see you all in person. So let's get out there and whip this virus. Thank you.
Thanks, Dee. There was a question in the chat. Yes, the postcarding is for Reverend Warnock and John Ossoff.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, absolutely. Oh, and actually they have one more. So the first group of postcards will be, and do you understand? We think we have it bad in Florida. Georgia, they have to request their vote by mail after every election. So all of those millions of people have to go in and request the vote by mail again for this runoff election. So the first group of postcards we're going to be doing are just encouraging people to go get their vote by mail. And so there are actually three candidates on the first group, and we'll mention each one. So you'll see, I'll have samples, just like always before, I'll have samples, and we'll talk through it once we get it started.
Excellent.